supper and a mother at the best place around. Some stupid with a flare gun burned the place to the ground. Smoke on the water, fire in the sky. Smoke on the water. Burned down the gambling house. It died with an awful sound. Funky and Claude was running in and out, pulling kids out of the ground. But when it all was over, we had to find another place. Swiss time was running out. It seemed that we would lose the race. Smoke on the water, fire in the sky. Smoke on the water.
Buonasera amici miei italiani e buonasera a tutti I fans. Benvenuti al mio programma RUDI Backstage. Questo sarà una dinamite show, uno spettacolo esplosivo. Vi voglio bene. Dear friends, followers and fans around the world, this is of course RUDI Backstage again, here still from my office in Miami. And I wish you a pleasant Sunday, as you know. And I again have interesting stories to tell. Meine Damen und Herren, schönen guten Abend in Österreich, meiner Heimat. Bald bin ich wieder zu Hause. Der Deutschland und der Schweiz. Ich begrüße Sie ganz herzlich hier aus meinem Office noch aus Miami. Mitten in der Pandemie, im Epizentrum der Pandemie und habe heute wieder sehr interessante Geschichten über Queen und anderes. And I have to say, give me a moment, because I am... bonsoir, bonsoir, mesdames et messieurs, et tous mes amis et fans français et francophones. Bienvenue Bienvenue dans mon émission RUDI Backstage. Restez avec moi, s'il vous plaît. Ça va être de la dynamite, je vous aime. And I have to say, buenas noches a todos mis amigos españoles y a todos los fans. Bienvenido a mi programa RUDI Backstage. Esto será una dinamite show, un espectáculo explosivo. And now... my son Ruby is operating as post-production supervisor. I say the magic word, backstage.
You wanna know what goes on backstage? Oh, come on. Let me take you by the hand. Ow!
Rudy, are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen.
The way I see it, Barry, this should be a very dynamite show.
You know, I have no idea what the name of this program is, but you're watching it.
Backstage,
All you ever want,
backstage,
all you ever need.
backstage,
Your dreams will be fulfilled once you are there. You'll never wanna leave. You wanna sell your ass for that backstage pass. Backstage is just for the invited. Backstage, they've laid on everything.
Backstage. Da, 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 da. Thanks again to Dana Gillespie, who sang this wonderful song and co-wrote the lyrics with me, and to Wolfgang Grünzweig, an Austrian, very, very good musician who was involved in a lot of interesting recordings, and became a doctor, a medical doctor. And after the doctor, he sort of, hang on, I have to get rid of something. Give me a moment. It's the usual, yes, I know. After the doctor, he made the music on the side, and now he reinvented himself again as a musician. Wolfgang, falls du das sehen solltest, alles Liebe. So, well, we have a interesting program today, I have to tell you. It's a little bit different than what I announced last week, and please forgive me, but it has a very, very good reason. And it's also in your interest as my followers, friends, and fans. So originally, I wanted to talk today about all my 32 Queen videos. Okay, that's also what I announced last week and during the week. But I had this great idea, and I said, of course, the trivia question is the reason. The trivia is name at least 10 of the what I call Queen-related videos, which means all my Queen videos and the solo videos, which are, if I'm not mistaken, 8 or 9. And at least 10 in order to be one of the 3 winners. Then I had the idea and said, well, anybody who knows more than 10 Queen-related videos directed by Rudi Dolezal gets into a special pot and gets a very special prize. Because, and I have it somewhere, oops, here, the awards, so to say, for the 3 winners who know at least 10, and I will draw it, of course, are beautiful postcards. Postcards like this of Miami, you know, or also something like that, or that here. On this actually is the very house that I'm sitting now in and doing this live from, or something like that, or that. And I will, of course, write it in a very special way, the way I showed you the last time, with different colors and really nice stamps that I'm putting on. For example, here is an example of what stamps. There is Elvis Presley. There are 2 really nice birds from Hawaii, and the bee. And there's also, for those who get it, my address. And so on. So that's a really nice memorabilia. This is, by the way, a postcard that I found when I now was packing, and you see here, actually it's here, Ruby and Benny signing when they were little boys. For some reason, we never sent that up. Maybe sometimes I ask them to sign it, and then Papa will send it. So this is going to be my last postcard to Ruby, Benny, and myself from Miami whenever I have to actually really leave this very office. So, and then I thought, well, I give you guys more time. I give you more time to maybe get more than 10 videos. And if I want to do that, because out of the more than 10 videos pot, I will do very special cards. This is great postcards, and it's really a great price. But look at this, for example. Believe in how strong you are. And there is a lot of room inside for me of writing and drawing and what have you, and maybe even putting something in, a little surprise. That is going to be the award out of the 10 plus trivia contestants. And because I would like you to give a chance to research those videos, it's going to take a little. I gave you another week. So in other words, as being the program director and my own boss, today, yes, I'm also going to talk about some Queen-related stuff that I did, or, you know, I showed those last time, but I'm also going to talk about this and about something else. But the main part of today's Backstage is going to be other artists and stories related with them. So I give you more time, and next week we start with the videos. And don't forget, it's 32, so I don't even know if I'm going to make all talk about all 32 videos in one program. My dear Backstage team, by the way, we are still an international production. Post-production supervisor is my son, Ruby, although as a father, he asked me to focus on his school. He's in the 1 year before finishing high school, and as a father, of course, that's more important. So he's not going to do it much longer. Then again, thanks to Milan Satnik in the Czech Republic, who is editing the thing, and thanks to Claire Go in Australia, in Melbourne, who is always uploading the things. As you know, on YouTube, you have the live chat, which is what I call the Backstage, the RUDI Backstage experience. But you also have it still on Instagram, but now as IGTV, and on Facebook, on both of my Facebook pages, the personal one as well as the fan page, which is called Rudi Dolezal Official. So my team, and of course I have my associate producer, oh my God, I've almost forgotten, my associate producer, Beth, sitting in Cleveland, Ohio, as you can see at the end credits. So I was told I have to remind, because the last winners, you know, of the Gianna Nannini question of her daughter, we still don't have the addresses, because since you get a postcard, I need obviously the mailing address to send you the postcard. So Leah Wilson from the USA, Leah Wilson, Leah Wilson, W like the regular Wilson, from the USA. Then, of course, Silvietta, Silvietta from Italy, who only wrote Silvietta ... Yeah. Don't forget, my printer is broken, so I had to write all of them, the hundreds. I need your address, and I probably need your full name, because otherwise it's sort of not clear if it arrives. And Cheryl Trulio from the United States. Those are the three winners of the first three, and people wrote to me, it's a really nice idea and I love it, of the first three winners of trivia who get one of these lovely postcards. Now, this is the reason why today we are not starting with the Queen videos, but don't worry, it's gonna happen, yeah? Still, at the beginning, because I know that most of you, and in the meantime, it's thousands, even close to 10,000 if you count everything together, the groups, all the platforms, etc., who are watching this all over the world. I just discovered Norway, by the way, a really nice artist, whom I know, her Insta is just another Queen fan or something like that, and I never know, so she sent me another art. I've posted it the other day. And now I found out she's from Norway, so that's a Norway. Also Mallorca, also Thailand. So, you know, it's seen all over the world. You know, in the trivia, I always make the percentages. So the main audience of this show, which is not a show, you're visiting me in my office. So I'm just Rudi. As always, I haven't really prepared more than putting some stuff here and then I'm talking. So, by the way, I didn't sleep well. So if I get a little bit grumpy, you know, and which I don't think so, because I always enjoy that you are my guests here, then please forgive me, because all the packing until late at night and so on and so on. So I start with a few Queen-related things. So send me the addresses, please. Yeah, those three, please. And everybody who hasn't got the originals, because people were writing to me, I have next week 2 new angels. No, there's only one angel. 2 new helpers, helping hands, here from Florida. and they will take care that all. I send everybody, of course, an email and a WhatsApp of their memorabilia. But of course, you want to have the originals to frame it. So they're going out as it looks next week or the week after. So that's all taken care of. Two things. Number one, Queen related. When I was packing, I came across this very book. Now, it's Queen and Paul Rogers, and actually Paul, because as you know, I also filmed Bad Company and Paul Rogers solo stuff, and I'm working and doing and producing a documentary on Paul Rogers, which is independently of Queen. It's not a Queen related project. He gave me this at the end of one long shooting session. Writing for RUDI, A Moment in Time, and You Were There, which is true because I filmed Queen and Paul Rogers, as I think said last week, in Budapest. And hang on, this is somebody calling me, and I cannot talk. So he sent me that. He gave me that, which is really nice. That's a memorabilia for me. I have hundreds and hundreds of things like that. But the book is really great. It's by a guy called Thilo Rahn, the first and only photo book of Queen and Paul Rogers, 2005 to 2008. It was shortly available also through the Queen channels. It has really nice photographs. I have to sort of try to show you. Really nice photographs. See? And so I don't know if it's still available. As you know, I'm always doing this and I'm not having any shares. I'm not earning any money. This is just from somebody who collects Queen-related things like me to people who are viewing this. And I think this is a really, really great book. And it not only has those photos, it has, for fans, especially interesting, I think, all the Queen concerts listed with dates and the set list. So it says exactly which songs they played in what order. Here's these things, tour dates. And I think that's a fabulous idea. Of course, it has been done before, but this is now the Queen, sort of part of the Queen history with Paul Rogers, where I was very happy to be a part of that as well, because as you know, I'm telling this story quite often. Paul Rogers, to me, is an absolute legitimate, legitimate singer with Queen, because Freddie really liked him, and Freddie was actually in the audience once when Paul Rogers was performing with his band, and said, "I want to become like this guy." When Freddie was an unknown guy. So that's really great. If you find that anywhere still, I would recommend not having any profit share or anything. I don't even know if it's still available. The other thing is, by packing, of course, I came across this. As you know, the movie, 2 Oscars, Blu-ray, DVD, digital, Bohemian Rhapsody. Now, as you remember, I was there when Freddie exactly made this pose. And I'm mentioning this, which is, again, great packaging. I love it. But Jim Beach and Queen and the whole Queen family always make really great packaging. It's lovely. Also the colors. As I told you, I was at the world premiere, and people are asking me what I think about the movie. It was just in Italian newspaper, Il Giornale. Maybe your friends in Italy, you saw it. It was quite a big article. And he also wanted to, Massimiliano also wanted to know what do I think about the movie. And I'm not at all diplomatic in a way. I'm always honest and straightforward. So I thought when I found this, maybe I talk a little bit about it. See, my attitude to this is the following. I find it a genius idea. I mean, I was there when the idea was born for the movie, you know, as I was there when the idea for the musical much before was there, and as also I was part of a meeting once with Jim Beach and Robert De Niro in the early stages of the musical, and I contributed a few ideas. I never had a credit or asked for one. It was not, but I mean, of course, there was like pool that happened at the time in the Queen family. You know, Jim said, you know, come because we had to talk anyway, and I was living in a hotel which actually also belonged to Robert De Niro. And Jim had a meeting which is in the same building with Robert, and said, you know, come along. So that was my chance. I met him again, Robert De Niro, at the world premiere of my Whitney film, but thanks to Jim, I met Robert De Niro also at the world premiere in London of the musical We Will Rock You, of course, I'm talking about. So the movie is a genius idea to make Queen music and parts of the Queen history, because as you know, there is artistic freedom and not everything that is shown in the movie happened exactly like that, which I don't mind. That's nothing I criticize, because as an artist, if I would have done the movie, which of course I would have loved to, but that's a different story. Maybe there's a, no. That's a different story. I have never done a feature film, so it's pretty clear that I was not in the sort of in the mix, as they say here in America. But personally, I think I will do feature films. Yeah. I've done, in the meantime, I've done one, and I know exactly that I can do that. But that's not what I wanted to tell you. I think it's a genius idea to bring closer the Queen music to new generations. That's what you see. Number two, it earned 2 Oscars, so it's a great movie. It also earned a Golden Globe. I am not that sure, to be honest, if the Oscar for the main character wasn't really an Oscar for Freddie, because when you impersonate a person, a very big part of that, what he acted out, was or should have been Freddie. I'm also criticizing things on the movie, but in a very nice way, because I'm friendly. I'm not criticizing it with, I was at the world premiere, and quite a lot of people, I'm not naming names, were furious and said, this never happened, and And I said, well, darlings, relax. Relax, that was not the idea. You cannot do in one feature film the complete history of a band like Queen and Freddie Mercury and Brian May and Roger Taylor and John Deacon. It's just not possible, full stop. Yeah. So you have to use artistic freedom, but I said it in this interview for Italy, and I said it before, I'm missing Freddie the funny guy in Bohemian Rhapsody, because Freddie was very funny. I'm missing using more, and if I may say so as a filmmaker, in a better way, to make more emotions, Queen music, partly instrumental, underneath scenes. And I think that Malek did a great job, but some of it, when you know Freddie, is not like Freddie. So I know insider stories from the shoot, which I'm not going to share, because what is told to me as a insider story, I'm not sharing publicly. But on the other hand, the Brian May actor, when he spoke or moved, I thought it's Brian. So, it's always the question, how far can you really reproduce, for somebody like me who was working with Freddie and Brian and Roger and John for many, 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 many years. With the 3 of them, even decades, because even after Freddie passed. So that's my opinion. But I think buy the DVD again, or the Blu-ray, because it's very, yes, and I mean, I'm flattered that some of the stuff in there is inspired by Rudi Dolezaj. As you know, I'm just a rock and roll prostitute. This is from an interview that I conducted and directed. But also the big party scene is an exact remake of Living on My Own. Also, other scenes are recreated, and they were very good in that. Recreated my video clips, which I, together with my ex-partner Rosacher, came up with, you know, and thought together with Queen and together with Freddie and Brian and Roger, John, of course. So that's what I said. So we have a little bit of Queen in here. If I say a little bit, let me see of how much what we have already talked. Well, okay. So now here is, and you know, this is the reason I love Queen fans. I'm connected with Queen forever, but I've done a lot of other work in my life, and I also would like to broaden Doro TV and the Backstage experience. So I'm going through it rather quickly, and not to make myself important or brag about it, but just to show you the spectrum of various musicians and styles. Here, for example, I directed Bon Jovi The Crush Tour, a great long-form video, was long time out on DVD and Blu-ray, with a very interesting story about the drummer who were bowled behind, and we had a shot which was going behind the drums up into the stadium where we filmed that. It's a live video and a documentary on it in the bonus part. And we had to, frame by frame, it's called, we had to put some color so you don't see that he is already boiled in the back. Then my dear friend Sarah Brightman, this is Harem, which is the whole album, and was done with very, very high, also was shown in America on PBS. With high production value in Morocco and various other places. I did also, that's a really great thing. Then Sarah Brightman, One Night in Eden, is a live concert. One concert was filmed by my friend David Mallet, whom I, as you know, respect a lot. This concert was done by Doro. And then there is this, which is Sarah Brightman Diva, which is a very nice video clip collection, actually very nice packaging also. So not only Queen make nice packages, but that's very colorful. It's just and interesting. It just was awarded very late, but still it was awarded with a gold and platinum award, which I received. Maybe show you in another program. Sarah, I did, and on this video collection, I did, for example, Time is on my side, that's Rolling Stones, but Time to Say Goodbye. And I think I talked about this video in another Backstage experience. Sarah is a great artist, and she is a very international artist. She's British, if I'm not mistaken, at least she lives in London. And it was always a great pleasure to work with her. Also Bon Jovi. I mean, those guys are really cool, you know, and are rock and rollers, as these guys. I mentioned that before. That's a very special one. That's Paul Rodgers' band, Bad Company. Which was actually the band right after his first band, Free, which, as you know, had the world hit All Right Now. Dam, da dam, 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 da la 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 la. That's All Right Now. But this one, and I'm very proud that he chose me to direct it, was the comeback concert, the reunion of the original members of Bad Company who didn't play together in a long time. And this is a double pack, which is a Blu-ray and a CD. And I filmed this here in Florida at the Hard Rock up in Hollywood, which is called Hollywood, but it's not Hollywood in California. There's two Hollywoods in America. And around this, he gave me the book that I mentioned in the beginning. And the thing is that not only I was proud to get the credit as a director's credit, but he also gave me a very nice special thanks at the end, for this project, which was nice, and it restarted our relationship, which we had already through to Queen plus Paul Rogers. Now, this is a very special documentary, the Joel Files. The Joel Files depicts the destiny of American rock star Billy Joel's family and their suffering during Hitler's regime. It won the Rose d'Or in 2001, which is the Golden Rose, which I also won with Queen-related products. And it's here on the back you see some stuff, and that's my partner and myself collecting the Golden Rose. Yes, if I'm not mistaken, correct. This film almost won the documentary Oscar, and I only know that through to a coincidence, and it was almost. How do I know this? Because this is usually secret. But first of all, it was great to work with Billy Joel. The whole thing came about. Billy Joel, as not a lot of people know, has a half-brother. A half-brother with they share the same father but different mothers, and this half-brother was in Vienna as a classical musician. He was a conductor of a very, very famous orchestra in Vienna. As you know, Vienna is famous for the symphonic things, and he came to us into the Doro office and said that he found documentation what happened to his family during the Nazi regime, because they had to flee. They were German Jews, German Jewish family. Half of the family, unfortunately, died in concentration camps, was murdered by the Nazis. The other half made it to New York, which is the half where Billy Joel became then a child of them. And so we reunited the two brothers in this movie, and we researched it, and it's a very, very interesting story. It's not a rockumentary. It's not about rock. Yes, there's a little bit at the beginning, but it's a very, very sincere story. And the story why I say it almost won the documentary Oscar is the following. When I was nominated for the Grammy for Freddie Mercury, The Untold Story. The Grammys in that year, and they still are, but in that year were happening in Los Angeles. The Austrian embassy was very proud that Austrians, were nominated for a Grammy, the Oscar of pop music, and made an invitation for the media, press, celebrities in the consulate of the Austrian embassy, in the Austrian embassy. And Donovan was, for example, there. I just remember. And Freddie Mercury, The Untold Story was shown there in a room for people who haven't seen the movie, so they could go in and watch a little bit and go out. It was in the garden, I remember. It was a very nice gathering, a lot of people. And they invite for this always all the Austrians who live in Los Angeles and people who have sort of roots with Austria. And an elderly gentleman starts talking to me and says, "Hi, may I introduce myself?" Whatever. And he said, well, he is the chair, which means the boss, of the documentary branch of the Oscars, of the Academy Awards. And he says, that's a great movie. It's a pity that it wasn't entered into the Oscars. Well, and I said, because this was just very brand new, right the year after Freddie Mercury. Of course, you get nominated for something you've done in the year before. And I, not shy then, as I'm not shy today, said, well, I have a much better film. And this is brand new. Excuse me, it's the water. And he said, well, what is it? And I said, well, it's the story of what happened to Billy Joel's family in the Nazi regime. And I gave him, it was a cassette at the time, a VHS cassette. And the next day he calls me. I even remember exactly in which hotel I was. Eurythmics were in the same hotel. We were at the swimming pool together. And he calls me and says, well, Rudy, may I tell you something? I think I saw an Oscar nomination. I just watched your Billy Joel files, the Joel files, as they call it. And I said, wow, what? He said, yeah. And I'm gonna nominate it because there is this committee, and so they chose it amongst the last 10. Of course, I was over the moon. Oh my God. Because I promised my mother to win an Oscar. I also will win an Oscar one day. Take me by my word. Or as an American president once said, read my lips. Rudi Dolezal promised his mother to win an Academy Award. And everything that Rudi Dolezal promises he wants to keep. And if he is not sure that he can keep it, he shouldn't promise. That's what I teach my boys. Right, Ruby? And so he said, then he called me again and he said, you're in the last 10, because the procedure is they pick of all the documentaries that are released, in 1 year, 10, which is the so-called short list. And then out of the 10, they make the 5 nominations. And he said, well, we are all pretty sure we already want you to nominate. I have to go through a few questions with you. And he was asking, And what I didn't know is that there is one thing that disqualifies you from the Oscars. And that is if that film was shown on television before it's entered into the Oscars. And because we financed the film ourselves, obviously in Austria with our Austrian company at the time, I was making a deal with Austrian television to get at least a little bit of the money back, because nobody wanted to produce it. It later was awarded all over the world, but when we did it, because the story is actually very hot, I'm trying to tell it another time, otherwise I'm only talking about that. Long story short, at the end of this list, he says to me, and by the way, this film was never shown on television. Oh. And Rudi Dolezal never lies. If I maybe have said no, maybe we would have been nominated. But I said, honest as I am, I said, oh my God, yes, it was shown once on Austrian television, which brought us, I don't know, $5,000. Can you imagine? But we had we had to recoup the money. It cost $200,000 or something like that. So we had to start recouping because we had a company. And he said, well, I'm sorry, man, but then you're disqualified. That's my almost Oscar. Okay, there's one coming. Whitney, greatest hits. Great video or videos of mine in there. Also great packaging and some live stuff. You know that Whitney, whenever I say Whitney Houston, and I'm not going to tell a Whitney story now because we are already running late. I have Whitney stories, of course, loads. This is the greatest hits DVD, but I also did, together with my co-director, Nick Broomfield, Can I Be Me? And I did on my own Whitney Close-Up, which, by the way, will be released worldwide, finally, in the year 2022. Good, and here we have another guy, Bruce Springsteen, the boss. And I'm very proud that I'm also could work with him. This is the complete video anthology where there's also my work on it. So, and then of course we have the Rolling Stones, where I was planning to tell you stories because there's two really nice ones, but we are already over the half. Let's see. And Rolling Stones, I did several. I don't have the DVDs or Blu-rays here anymore. The first 20 years, of course, after 20 years, I've just to name a few. Then the Voodoo Lounge tour in live in Argentina, which is a great doc. Whitney Houston saw it, one of the two, together with Freddie. And Let It Bleed, which is actually probably the best, yeah, which was when they were 40 years, 10 years ago. And I have to tell you one story of the Rolling Stones. It's in connection with my very first documentary, which again, I did together with my then partner. My wish was that all of the Stones who were playing in Vienna in a stadium, it was the Still Live tour in 1981 and 82. 81 in America, 82 in Europe. And before they came to Austria, my film was broadcasted prime time in the German-speaking countries. Big, big thing. Wouldn't happen today anymore, by the way. Regular television stations don't play a 2-hour documentary on the Rolling Stones at 8 p.m. Nobody does it. Not in Italy, not in France. At least not that I know. I mean, I'm talking it was the biggest first channel. So anyway, I asked the promoter or we asked him if he could organize that all of the Stones are together and watch our film, which he made it happen. And there was the whole entourage: Jerry Hall, Keith Richards with Anita Pallenberg, all the kids, the father of Keith, of course, Mick, Ronnie, Bill Wyman at the time, and Stu, etc. So the whole band and all their wives and everything. And I was very naive at the time. So when we were all gathering before we started, Ronnie Wood came to me and said, can I have some Coke? And I said, sure, no problem. Of course, thinking he means Coke. So I called room service and ordered Coca-Cola. And when it came, he said, oh man, I didn't mean Coca-Cola, I meant cocaine. And unfortunately, he didn't drink the Coke. And of course, I had no cocaine. I was a naive guy. I didn't even know where to get it. There is dozens, if not hundreds, of stories with the Rolling Stones. I'm now going through this. Let me see here are some international, but also German and Austrian things. This is Hans Tessink. He's called the Blues Man, actually a Dutch, a great blues guitarist and singer. A dear friend. That's a live concert we filmed for his record company. I think it's still available. It's called Blue Note, if I'm not mistaken. Blue Groove is the label. Then, of course, you know them. Opus, Life is Life, na 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 na. This is something really, really nice that I did. Oh, again, I see. This is actually a memorabilia. I didn't know that. This is all of Opus. Good that I opened it. Were signing this for me. Can you see it? It's too shiny. Hi, Rudy. Thanks for everything. Blah, blah. Very, very nice band and friends. Ewald Pfleger is one of the guy who wrote Life is Life. Let me put this in. See, I'm also collecting memorabilia. That's why I know what you want. But this, it's called Tonight at the Opera, which is also one song, but they played with a classical orchestra in Graz, the second biggest city in Austria, also university city. Oh, here we go. That's RUDI at the time. Yeah, if you look at it, I was thinking, RUDI the thinker. So anyway, which is still available on www.opus.at. And they also have a great YouTube channel, by the way, yeah, with lots and lots of viewers and subscribers, something like 100,000 or something. Then this is another gentleman that I would stress out. Most of you don't know him. He's called Westernhagen. He's one of the big German superstars, and that's a really great concert we did quite some years back. He's one of the 5 superstars. I worked with all of them, and probably only you know this guy, Falco, and this is the package where, look at that. This includes everything I did for Falco, and as you know, I did practically everything, all the videos, etc. This includes all those individual DVDs which are here separately. Hoch wie nie, High as Ever. Then Falco the Poet, which is about his lyrics. Falco Everything. And the True Falco, which is always only interviews, because I was so fed up that people are always quoting Falco and never met him. So I put that out. But that's sort of the box. If you have that, you have a very good bargain. Again, I'm not earning anything on those things. And of course, with Falco, it's that I did the last documentary, which is not out on Blu-ray or DVD or whatever yet, and streaming. It was called in Germany, Austria, Switzerland, the ultimate documentary, where I went to the Dominican Republic, where he died, unfortunately. And to find out whether it was a suicide or an accident. And I might have said that, but I'm saying this for a very important reason. I was very I didn't go to the Dominican Republic for 20 years after he died, because you know that Falco and I, we were really close friends. And because I was afraid. I was afraid how I would feel when I'm actually standing at the street. He was driving with his car and against a big bus, and he was dead almost on the spot. That's why a lot of people thought it was a suicide, because he also wrote a song before which was called "Do I Have to Die to Live?" So as with Queen and with many other people, with Freddie Mercury and Queen, people are putting things into songs and think, oh, that was done because, and I'm always telling most of them, I'm disillusioned them, because I said, no, it was not. Now, the other day somebody asked me if Freddie playing Sleeping, sorry, I just have to fix this here. That's the mother in me. As you know, I was single dad for 10 years. So, no, it was not suicide. I was afraid to stand there where my friend died. So when it's now 2 years ago, did the ultimate documentary, mainly as the first part for the German-speaking countries, Germany, Austria, Switzerland, I said to myself, you have to go there, because I don't want to repeat myself, as you see I've done, and this is only a part of the documentaries and projects I did with Falco. I directed all Falco videos, most of them with my partner at the time. But Falco was my very, very good friend. I met him when I was 17 and he was 18. So we go back a long way. And I filmed at the time already all the interviews in German, and part of those people unfortunately are not with us anymore. I also did all the interviews in an international language. So anyway, the ultimate documentary will be internationally released in 2021, and with some new interviews and re-edited, and that's going to be a really, really great project. So now, why did I show you all this? And again, I'm not making any bucks on that. It's because for some of that, I think it's a pity that some of them are not available anymore. So the plan is to make those available, of course, in connection with the original publishers and record companies, for fans of Falco, for people who are interested in my work, because I think it's a pity that you can't. This is one of the fucking greatest concerts I ever filmed, and a lot of people are always asking me, can you make us a copy? Because I have the masters, of course, in my archive, but I mean, I cannot just start doing you a copy for $20 for one DVD or Blu-ray or download or link or whatever. So the idea is to make them available through a separate website. A website which I will call Doropolis, like Metropolis, but Doropolis, where you find everything in connection with Doro TV, with my person, etc. Where also possibly, there will be, people always ask me, why do we get these Doro t-shirts? I don't wear one today. Well, I just made them for my crew, but we might have some funny t-shirts with cool sayings on it. We talked about this long time ago in one of the programs. And what I also thought is, see, this is, for example, I mentioned that before, one of the latest awards. I haven't even unpacked it because now, since I'm changing offices, I don't unpack it. It's for Freddie Mercury tribute concert, the multi-platinum DVD and Blu-ray award. Most of those awards, I have at least 2 identical ones, because they usually give it to you, sometimes 3. They give it to you as the director, if I'm also the producer, a second one as the producer, and if I'm also the production company, which in 99% I was or I am, also for Doro Films International. So I have 3 of the same. Now, packing and having to store things somewhere where I don't even know if I have to ship all of that to a new base, or whether I stay in Miami, or whether I stay in the US but in a different city, go to Los Angeles or New York. So I'm undecided. I thought, well, maybe if you guys are interested, and I'm talking about all different kinds of artists, you want to have those, and that will also be on Doropolis. Okay, darlings, that was it for today. I just made it with them. As I said, next week I talk about at least part 1 of the 32 Queen videos. Again, participate in the trivia. That's really, really nice. And I promised this to the people, I wanted to mention again that I will be in Montreux in 2021. And that if you haven't seen it, please go to watch the wonderful video of Montreux Celebration and the Mercury Phoenix Trust on the Facebook page of Montreux Celebration. Peter Freestone, Milan Satnik, and myself, amongst many other people, are making contributions and talking about it. And as you know, Montreux 2021, the actual party of the Mercury Phoenix Trust will be on September 4th. And the Montreux week, and I will be there for the whole week, will be from September 2nd to September 5th. And I'm really looking forward to it. As you know, I was meant to be there this year. I'll be there next year. So I hope I didn't bore you. It was very nice to have you as my guest. And I say again, I used to say at the end, I have 3 wishes. One is, please pre-order my book. You still can pre-order my book. You know there will be live streaming soon, only for those who pre-ordered to shorten the waiting time. Then please subscribe my YouTube channel. I'm going to talk more about this next week because there is also something very interesting if you do, which is for free, of course. And then never, please, never, 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 never miss a Sunday or have a Sunday without, oops, this was me, without RUDI Backstage. And I say thank you very much, darlings. Stay safe, stay human, and love and respect. I love you all.
You wanna know what goes on backstage? Oh, come on. Let me take you by the hand. Ow!
Rudy, are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen,
The way I see it, Barry, this should be a very dynamite show.
You know, I have no idea what the name of this program is, but you're watching it.
All you ever want,
Backstage,
all you ever need.
backstage,
Your dreams will be fulfilled once you are there. You'll never wanna leave. You'll wanna sell your ass for that backstage pass. Backstage is just for the invited. Backstage.